What's up guys, Rhino here and welcome to the latest episode of my FIFA 19 Wolves career mode. So I've got a few things to kind of talk to you guys about which are kind of going on in the career just before we do jump into the next match. Sort of a mixed bag really. I mean, obviously there's a table, 3 points after 3 games. We've already kind of seen that. I do need to talk about the team, like what's going to be happening with that going forward. So quickly jump into that now. As you can see, I've changed the formation slightly. I was going to change it drastically, to be honest. I was thinking of going for like a 4 at the back formation, but I want to try and still kind of stick true to roughly how they play in real life. So I've stuck with a similar kind of shape in terms of the defence. Instead of being a 5 at the back, it's more of a 3. So officially it's a 3-5-2 this formation. So instead of being like Jimenez as a lone striker up top with the 2 wide players either side of him, he's going to be partnered by Jota. And we're going to have Helder Costa just in behind. And then that means that Moutinho and Neves will play a little bit deeper, but I don't think that will matter too much just because they never really had like the mobility to kind of get forward anyway. So it'd be better just to have them a little bit deeper, just picking the passes. And if anything, they might get into a few more positions for long shots just because they will be arriving late on the scene. So that might work quite well. The only worry I've got a little bit is almost just that the wide players, not so much with Johnny. I think Johnny might be okay, but with Doherty, I think he is a very kind of defensive-minded player. So I'm a little bit concerned he might not be that great. It's pretty much a right mid position now. It's not really a right wing back. So, but that'll be interesting to see how it goes. Obviously, I've got different players that I can play. I could always play a Dharma out there. It's not kind of set in stone, but I just want to try and change the formation but stick with the same players that were playing originally. So that's also something to talk about. I've got some sort of bad news. I'm trying to think if there was anything else just before I kind of get onto it, but I think that was probably it really. I've got to have a look at the calendar just show you guys that I'm going to be playing 2 games in this video. So we'll be playing West Ham and Burnley, so there's like a little international break in between there, but I'm only going to be doing 2 games this video just because if you've seen episode 2, it's been split into 2 parts, purely because I did actually do 4 games. I basically wanted to do the entirety of August all in one, and I didn't realise how long it would be, to be honest. Once I edited it all down, and it ended up I just had to split it in 2, and it doesn't really flow that great because obviously I didn't kind of prepare for it to be like that. So I just kind of released it anyway, just so you guys could see the games. But yeah, I won't be kind of making that same mistake with any of the future videos. I will just kind of stick to two matches per video, just so that they do flow a little bit better. It does mean that it will be split into probably a lot more videos than maybe I would have liked to have done it. But you know what, that's absolutely fine. It's just the way that makes it the easiest to run really for you guys. So certainly that's the way I'm going to do it. There's no point having videos that are like an hour long because none of you guys are really going to be interested in like wasting an hour every day like that. Like 15-20 minutes is pretty much fine. So yeah, the only thing I needed to kind of mention as well just before I do get into the match, if we go on to the squad hub, so which I just never realised, and a lot of you guys, if you know the Wolves squad quite well, or you might support them, you would know this. And to be honest, I did realise it with one of the players after, I just forgot, but there's 2 others which I genuinely had no idea. If we head over to the contract section, I was just looking at who might need their contract renewed. If we go to the most recent one, so we've got Jimenez, Dendoncker and Johnny, who've all only got 9 months left on their deals. Now if I move back over to the status bit on here, so Jimenez is actually on loan at Wolves. If we go to Johnny, he's on loan. And of course, Dendoncker is on loan at Wolves. So I've just realised that 3 of the real key players in the squad we've only got for 1 season, which is an utter disaster. So I'm absolutely gutted about that. I mean, whether or not I end up bringing those same players back, I'm not sure. It will depend on how much they cost going into the next summer transfer window. So we just have to see that. I might end up just going for people that are completely different. Those particular players, they may not cut it over the course of the season. I might not like them. So we will see on that front. But that's obviously a little bit of bad news there, guys. But you know what, there's going to be a few bumps along the road. It is the road to being Premier League champions. I'd like to think we might achieve that at some point. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this particular game. We've got West Ham at the Olympic Stadium, the away game. So obviously, like I said, I'm going to go with that team. Obviously, almost 6 minutes, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it should be interesting. We do need to try and pick up a win, really. I mean, obviously, we only won on the opening day. We managed to pick up the win in the Carabao Cup, which was good, but we do really need to start picking up some points in the league as well, because if we take another defeat, I'll be getting a bit worried, to be honest. I mean, I could almost sort of just accept a draw in this game, just as like a way of just getting some more points on the board, to be honest. Just even if it's not necessarily a win, it's a little kickstart, isn't it? You know, we can start from somewhere. We need a base to work off of, but we'll see, guys. I mean, it is going to be a tough away game, but it's one which I think is very winnable at the same time. So let's see how we get on.
Just working away to try and find an opening. And Arnautovic, the shot's on. The shot gets blocked.
It's Jack Wilshere, Arnautovic. Ooh, good save, Patricio.
At full stretch. West Ham United are given a corner.
Snodgrass's corner towards Arnautovic. Again, that's a good save by Patricio. Couple of saves there to make there. Not really tested West Ham as of yet, but the spaces are yet to appear. Here's Moutinho.
Striding forward, purposefully.
Helder Costa lays off to Ruben Neves. Oh, what a strike by Ruben Neves. Wolves take the lead at the Olympic Stadium. And it's an absolute thunderblast by Ruben Neves. What a strike, first time. Rips the top left corner out. Absolutely no chance for Fabianski, I presume it is, in goal for them. It doesn't look like Fabianski though. We'll find out. What a strike. 1-0 up. It's been a difficult game. We haven't really had many chances. Just been literally just passing and probing, but he's popped up. And that is, well, that's one of the joys of having to play in a slightly deeper role. He's popped up on the scene in a bit of space there, and he did not disappoint. Half time. Wolves lead. Impressive performance. They've limited West Ham. There were many chances for either side in the game, but pretty controlled performance so far, I'd say. We are looking good to take the 3 points from what I've seen so far. I mean, I can't see an onslaught coming from West Ham, but you never know. They've obviously got probably a bit more strength in depth, so there could be a few substitutions on the way which could affect the game for sure. Oh, good. Bit of pressing by Jota. Finds Jimenez. 2-0. That might be game over. It was shocking from West Ham. Caught asleep at the start of the second half. Jota, he joined the press with the 2 forwards for Wolves, and then he just played a perfect ball into Jimenez. Left-footed finish. Rifles it past Fabianski. And Wolves have a big cushion to take into the rest of this second half. They've got a massive opportunity now of coming away with all 3 points here. Big goal for Wolves. Neves. Helder Costa. Jota. Breaks the lines to Helder Costa. Could this be 3-0? Oh, it should have been. It really should have been. It's a terrible effort in the end. He's really pulled it wide. Big opportunity that. That could have seen it off completely, but the way it's going, you wouldn't think that they would come back to bite Wolves, but you never know. You just never know. Snodgrass over the free kick. He can take them. We know he can take them pretty well. He's got Wilshere there with him as well. Snodgrass does take it just over the bar in the end. Keeper seemed like it was pretty comfortable. He didn't really move, Patricio. As though he was watching it over. Yeah, not really close in the end. Johnny. Moutinho. Down the wide area to Jimenez. What a save by Fabianski. He tried to rifle it past him at his near post into the roof of the net, Jimenez, but it was a smart stop by Fabianski. Good effort by Jimenez on the turn, actually. Didn't even need to take a touch. Took it very early, that shot, so Fabianski did well to keep it out. But Wolves have a corner, which is going to be swung in by Helder Costa. Ooh, not quite managing to connect with it there. All getting a little bit congested in this middle area. Moutinho decides to travel with the ball wide. Neves plays it forward into Raul Jimenez, and then that first time ball into, would you believe it, Doherty, who makes it 3-0. He made that inverted run, which a lot of fullbacks like to make. Obviously, he's playing a little bit higher today, and he's made the inverted run, and he's just slotted it past Fabianski. A very cool, calm finish. Managed to get in front of Cresswell. And once again, Fabianski's got absolutely no chance with that one. And West Ham look as though they've got absolutely no chance of getting back into this game now. 3-0 to Wolves. Looks as though it's going to be 3 points as well. Although that ball broke kindly there to Arnautovic, laid it back into Wilshere, who's now played it wide to Felipe Anderson on the left. Back inside to Cresswell, little ball roll into Jack Wilshere, decent save by Patricio. It was a strange effort by Wilshere of his weaker foot, it just kind of looped and floated towards the top corner of the goal. Patricio had to be alert, quite easily have been caught out by that. He got caught underneath that ball. So it is a corner for West Ham, which is going to be swung in by Felipe Anderson. Comes out to Aouar, he takes a shot. And Ogbonna with the very tame header in the end, and he was actually in an offside position as well when that shot came in from Aouar, so it will be a free kick to Wolves. It's going to be a very, very good day for Wolves. It is an extremely good day for Wolves. They have gone to the Olympic Stadium, a tough away game in the Premier League, and they have, well, they've passed the test with flying colours. They've kept the clean sheet. They've got 3 points. They've even got 3 goals to go with it as well. Goals have been difficult for them to come by so far this season, but they managed to pick up 3 in one game. And 3 different goal scorers as well, so giving a bit of confidence to a few various members of the squad. So all in all, a very, very good day at the office for Wolves. 3 more points on the board, gives them a big boost. It probably sends them into the top half of the table, which we will find out shortly. Puts them onto 6 points after 4 games. So 6 points gained, 6 points dropped. Not a disastrous start to the season for a newly promoted side at all. And it does put them up to 7th in the table now, although that is joint 8th and joint 6th with Manchester United and Chelsea respectively. But that was a very good result to actually beat a West Ham team which had 7 points from its first 3 games. They were right up in the Champions League places, so very impressive result that for Wolves to win it so comfortably. Of course, Man City look as though they're going to romp to the title. They have a perfect start. 4 wins from 4. Scored 13 goals. They have conceded 3, which you could say is a surprise, although I suppose 2 of them did come at the expense of Wolves, so only 1 goal conceded in the other 3. Leicester not doing too badly at all. Tottenham and Liverpool make up the rest of the top 4. At the bottom, Arsenal are rock bottom. 3 games, 0 points, 3 defeats. But obviously we have to remember that 2 of those games were against Manchester City and Chelsea. Newcastle and Palace still without victories. They have 2 draws and 2 defeats. Bournemouth without victory as well, but they do just about sit outside of the relegation zone as they have had 3 draws and only the 1 defeat. Fulham have managed to pick up 4 draws from their first 4 games, which is frustrating, I can imagine. 6 goals scored, 6 conceded. So they've certainly not been struggling to score goals. They just need to try and patch up their leaky defence, which is obviously causing them problems. But as we've seen, a very, very solid start to the season for Wolves. Now, we've obviously got a little bit of a break now. There's the international break, so we can still get transfer offers. I believe that obviously they just won't, you know, you can agree the fees and stuff. They just won't actually go through until the new window opens. So even if I accept an offer for this Ashley Seal, if he does miraculously leave, he'll leave in January. Elliot Watt had been coming for him over 150 grand. You know what? We will accept that as well. That is absolutely fine. But it's just about trying to get through this international break and just work our way towards the next game, which is against Sean Dyche's Burnley. We saw there that The Player of the Month award, that was actually one of the things I was going to mention, actually. I obviously forgot. It obviously didn't come up on the screen to remind me. Is that the Player of the Month award, we actually had 2 players that were up for the award. I think it was, we had Cavallero and Jimenez. I believe it was Jimenez. I think possibly for like some assists maybe from him. I couldn't really understand why he was up for it because he hadn't scored until that game just now, but maybe he's had a few assists, which just because of his individual match ratings in the games. But he didn't. Neither of those actually won the Player of the Month in the end. I think it's under this tab. I'm hoping that we can still see it. Yeah. So in the end, it was Wesley from Liverpool, the new signing, the striker. I think he comes from the Belgian league, possibly. I think he might have come from. He's ended up getting it. I was surprised that De Bruyne didn't get to us. He was the other player. There was 4 players up for it. De Bruyne was up for it, and obviously, you know, look at him. He's flying high with the golden boot. You got Aguero, his teammate, just behind, so you can see why Man City are doing so well. Sterling's on 3 as well. Pascal Gross, Conor Plianka, Harry Kane, and Andre Kramaric are also on 3. So De Bruyne's got a bit of company there. It does actually show how many matches have been played as well, which is a nice addition. I never knew they did that. So you can see that all those players that are right at the top have played 4. You got Farias from Bournemouth, who managed to net 2 goals in 1 game, which is pretty impressive, to be fair. I'm not sure if we got any players that are really close at all to this. So we've got Helder Costa, who does have 2 goals in 4 games, although they were actually both netted in the same game against City. We look at the assists, we got Juan Mata, so that must be what it is. Jimenez is actually on 3 assists from 4 games, so that must have been why he was up for the award. Should we got any of our other squad members who are up there? Nope, unfortunately not. Yeah, Mata's obviously above because he's managed to do it in 3 matches, his 3 assists, which is pretty impressive. In terms of clean sheets, you've got Schmeichel, Patricio and Edison that are all on 2. That's 2 out of 4 games for them, so they're all pretty much the same, but impressive from Patricio. Yellow cards, you've got Cunningham, Decore and Fabinho who are all on 2. And there's obviously a load of players on 1, that's understandable. And players that have been sent off already this season. So there's Schneiderlin, Zapata, Asamoah, Yoshida, Congolo, Bryan and Kolasinac. So Southampton have already had 2 red cards this season. So Asamoah and Yoshida, they need to take a chill pill, don't they, those boys? But yeah, we'll just a little quick look at that. I thought it'd be quite good to just quickly check that out whilst we are just making our way to the next game. Obviously, not a lot's really happening. We're just kind of easily cruising through the days there. That's 2 weeks kind of chalked off without a lot really happening, which is understandable. Obviously, we're not managing a national team. Not sure if I will ever manage a national team just because I don't tend to enjoy it too much. A couple of teams have played their 5th games of the season, which has resulted in us dropping to 9th place in the table. I won't have a look at the table completely just yet, just because there's no point. May as well wait till everybody's played 5. But yeah, we've got a home game against Sean Dyche's Burnley, which it could be difficult. It could be difficult. I just hope they don't play too defensively, to be honest. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. So obviously, we'll play in our home kit. We'll put them in the black. Should work quite nicely. I'm going to stick with the exact same start 11 just because it did work so well. That formation did tend to give us the opportunity to create a few chances. I mean, didn't really create much in the first half of the game, so maybe it's a formation that once the game kind of opens up a bit and teams tire, it seems to work a bit better. That seems to be the case in that game. It was really tight and cagey in the first half, but different opponents will make us come across different circumstances. So we will see. We'll see what this leads to. They'll probably play a much different formation as well. I imagine probably a 4-4-2 or maybe like a 4-5-1 Burnley. So might actually quickly check that. I don't normally look at the lineups, but might see what it comes up with as the players do walk out. Just because I am interested if they've bought anyone either as well. I saw like West Ham, they had some guy who I literally never heard of him before, so I don't know if that was a new sign. So you never know, Burnley might. But they got Joe Hart in goal, which we can see there. Sure who that captain is. Is that Ben Mee? I don't know. So they're just lining up. Trouble is I can't skip this bit as oh no, it's Kevin Long. Okay. You got Ayling. Is that Luke Ayling? I think. So yeah, we get the lineup. So obviously we'll stick with the usual. Patricio, Bennett, Cody,
This is
Bolly.
the way they like to play, isn't it? And
5 across midfield, Doherty, Neves, Costa, Moutinho and Johnny, and then the 2 up front we have got Jimenez and Jota. So standard bench. Caballero might get a run out this time. He didn't actually play off the bench the last game. I brought on a Adama Traore, so yeah, we might try out Caballero. Let's have a look at the Burnley team then. Interesting to see what formation they're playing. Could be a 4-4-2. So obviously Joe Hart in goal, as we've already seen. It is a 4 at the back. It's Ayling, Long, Bentley and Stephen Ward. They are going for 4 across the midfield. Lennon, Hendrick, Cork and Gudmundsson. And it is 2 up front. 2 new players. They got Rebic and Garcia. Well, I'm not sure who that Garcia is, but for them to have Ante Rebic, that's an unbelievable stuff. They've got to be wary of that particular threat. So here we go. Jimenez for the ball. Oh, it was a big opportunity. There was a lot of space then to attack for Wolves, but the passing wasn't there. Oh my goodness me! Out of the blue, Hendrick with an absolute rocket. Right on the stroke of half time. Didn't even look like it was an opportunity. They hadn't really been shooting on sight all game. Well, I think Hendrick just got a bit fed up and thought, why not? I mean, he kept playing it wide to Lennon throughout, and then for once he decided to take the shot on. Nobody quite got close to him. Bolly was the closest there, but what a strike by Jeff Hendrick. Is that through the legs of Bolly? Looked like it might have been, but look at that there. A lot of swaz on that shot by him. And Sean Dyche is absolutely ecstatic, and well, that might change his half-time team talk for sure. I mean, he'd probably be saying, yeah, we'll have more of the same now, lads. More of the same. We played really well in that first half. You know, I think we limited them for very, very minimal chances. You know, we're real, man. We're Burnley. So if we play the same, we'll be absolutely fine. It'd be something along those kind of lines. God, that voice really hurts my throat. Makes my eyes water speaking like him. Blimey. God. He's got a great voice, hasn't he? Flipping out. Yeah, so we're 1-0 down at half time. Flipping heck, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get back in now. They defended really, really well, I have to say. Defended really, really well. I didn't really create many chances there, but I'm hoping it's going to be a similar story to the previous game where the floodgates kind of opened in the second half. But could be slightly different just due to the fact that they do have that goal to defend now. Whereas West Ham had to still come out and try and score, so it's going to be slightly different, but we'll see how we get on. Moutinho. Good ball into Jimenez. Good effort by him. Off the swinger left foot. Through the legs again of the defender. But this time it didn't go in.
Jack Cork.
Gudmundsson's cross. Oh, what a chance for Rebic. 2-0. 2-0 Burnley. It was a brilliant goal. Brilliant header by Ante Rebic. And the big money signing for the Clarets has come up with the goods here. And it is looking perilous for Wolves now. What a cross by Gudmundsson. The perfect trajectory on that cross. And a pinpoint accuracy header by Rebic. Out jumped Johnny, headed just over Bolly's head, right into the top corner. Absolutely no chance for Rui Patricia.
He's got some room out here in the wide position. In on the goalkeeper. And here's the shot.
Oh, wow.
It's a goal.
Well, it was a searching cross, which eventually got cleared away. It's just popped out to Cork. One of the strangest goals you'll see all season. Left-footed effort from him. Another goal from outside of the box, which can be been conceded by Wolves. Not really a lot you can do about it. Strange how it just kind of floated in. A little bit of wrap on the ball there, a little bit of curl. Wrapped around Connor Cody, straight into the far corner of the goal. Absolutely no chance for Patricio, and that looks as though that is pretty much game over. They're not done yet, Wolves. They feel like if they get a goal pretty sharpish, they could still get something out of this game. Moutinho stood over the free kick right now. It's a fair distance out, but if anybody could do it, it's him. Moutinho! And a decent save by Hart. It was, well, he couldn't have done a lot more with that free kick, to be fair. Moutinho was hit with a bit of ferocity, heading towards the top corner of the goal, curling away from the goalkeeper, but in the end, just struck from too far out, of course. Adama Traore is going to collect. Pops it out to Ruben Neves. Oh, what a smart stop by Hart. That could be a big moment for Burnley. If that had gone in, could have been a nervous last 20 minutes, but it looks as though Wolves might run out of time. That was a very good save to deny Neves. But he is going to whip this corner in.
Corner's taken. Put away, but not out of harm's way. They've gone wide. Chance to get the ball in the box.
Here's Bolly.
Here's Bennett.
Towards Adama Traore.
Moutinho.
Jimenez. Lays it off to Neves. Takes it on his left foot this time. Oh, he's crashed it against the post.
And he bangs it away.
Well, since they've gone 3 behind, they've been unfortunate, Wolves. They really do deserve a goal out of this game. But it looks as though they're just going to potentially be getting a complete reverse of the game against West Ham, unless it could get even worse here. But that would be unfortunate. It has got worse. It's Matai Vidra. It's 4-0 to Burnley. Unbelievable. Not a 4-0 game at all, really. Very, very flattering, the scoreline, certainly for Burnley. The fact that Wolves haven't actually got a goal in this game has been very, very unfortunate. Burnley have pretty much managed to bag 4 goals from 4 attempts, and Vidra gets himself on the score sheet now with pretty much 15 minutes to go, plus if you include the added time. So it's ended up being a bit of a rout in the end. And we are nearly at the climax of this game now. We're heading into additional time very, very shortly. There's going to be 3 minutes of it. Hopefully Burnley don't score a 5th. I mean, that would be unbelievably harsh on Wolves, but they have got a 5th. What on earth has happened to the goalkeeper in that situation? He came out and he just sort of dived out of the way of it. It's going down as an own goal, apparently. An own goal for Patricio. It looks as though it was probably going wide and it's gone through his legs. And in the end, it's put it in, and Wolves have been blown away by Burnley and Molineux, which is, well, I mean, quite unbelievable. It's not really been a 5-0 game, to be honest. We'll be interested to have a look at the stats at the end of the game. Very, very harsh. It's going to mean that their goal difference is going to take an unbelievable whack, but it's pretty much everything that Burnley have hit has gone into the back of the net, and everything that Wolves have hit has not gone into the back of the net. And as we pretty much come to the end, all it's going to take is one kick forward from Connor Cody, and that will bring the referee's whistle to put an end to the misery, the Molineux misery. What a poor, poor game for Wolves. Never did they think they'd be beaten by 5, especially by a Sean Dyche team. Unbelievable. I don't think they've ever scored 5 goals in a Premier League game before Burnley, but they've done it today against Wolves, and this one will have to be forgotten extremely, extremely quickly, because it's the small matter of Manchester United just around the corner. So very, very bad day at the office. They got 6 shots on target from Burnley. 5 of them end up in the back of the net. Wolves didn't particularly deserve to win. They only had 5 shots with 2 on target. But it certainly was not a 5-0 game. This has made it look like they played a lot worse than they did. But that is pretty much going to be it for this episode, guys. Very, very mixed bag. We had, one game where we were on the right end of a mauling. We absolutely, we just blew away West Ham with a 3-0 victory. Gave them a bit of a pasting. But the second game, we were on the end of a bit of a pasting, to be honest. We've obviously been absolutely battered there by Burnley, which was unusual, completely unexpected, to be honest. I don't know why that was the case. So they didn't really make too many chances, as you saw, but they made enough to get the ball in the back of the net. We didn't really do enough going forward, but it was a lot more even than the scoreline suggested, but we can learn from that. We'll have to learn from that, else we will lose a lot more games. We don't really want to be going into a game against Man United in the next episode and getting beaten by 5 again. That result actually puts us back to 14th, so we were 14th at the start of this episode. We won a game to put us up to 7th, but we have dropped back down into 14th now, which is just about classed as mid-table. Arsenal are now up to 13th, back-to-back victories for them, which has certainly kick-started their season. You've got Huddersfield up in 9th place. Burnley have now gone up to 8th with that victory, which really helped their goal difference. Wolves' goal difference is now looking terrible. In fact, I think it is the second worst in the league. Only Newcastle have a worse goal difference. In terms of the top of the table, you've got Man City, who are still perfect with 5 wins from 5. Tottenham are their closest challengers, but they are 4 points behind already. They've managed to pick up 3 wins and 2 draws from their first 5 games. Manchester United and Chelsea have 9 points. Liverpool, Leicester and West Ham are there on 8th. So like I said, we've got Burnley and Huddersfield on 7. There's a bit of a cluster of teams on 6. So despite being 14th, if we could somehow improve our goal difference, we could end up in the top half. We are joint level with Everton, who are in 10th place, to Southampton, Bournemouth and of course Arsenal on 6 points. Brighton are there on 5. Fulham are still on 4. They have ended their streak of consecutive draws, but unfortunately it has ended with a defeat. So they probably would have offered a draw there, but 4 draws and 1 defeat for them. So they are still winless. Cardiff and Watford do have a win, but they are only on 4 points as they have lost 3 games apiece. And Palace and Newcastle are still winless, rock bottom. 2 points each for them, so 2 draws, 3 defeats. Newcastle have got a real issue with scoring goals. Both teams only conceded 7, but Palace probably look a little bit more likely to get out of that relegation mire, as they do seem to have a little bit more of a goal threat. But we will see. It's early days. You know, we could have had some tough fixtures. I'm pretty sure Newcastle's early fixtures are quite difficult. They play like 4 or 5 of the top 6 in their first 6 games, so not the end of the world for them. Top scorers, you've still got De Bruyne up there. Kane has joined them level on 4. Aguero is obviously on 3 still. We've got Farias has moved up to 3 to join Gross, Konoplyanka. Morata is now up on 3. We've got Sterling as well on 3. A couple other players, they've got Martial, Kramaric and Wesley on 3 as well. So the Golden Boot race is very much still up for grabs. So it is the assist one. Sterling has moved level with Jimenez and Mata. So Sterling's actually doing extremely well at the start of the season. He's looking though he's in contention to win the Golden Boot and the most assists. So very, very good start to the season for him. But yeah, we've got the trip to Old Trafford to come in the next episode, guys. So hopefully you can join me for that one. I'm very much looking forward to it, although I don't want to get battered again. We do need to seriously try and get something out of that game. Even if it's just a point, I'd be more than happy with that. Just to try and move ourselves up into the top half. We want to try and steer as far clear away from the bottom 3 as possible. I hope you did enjoy that video, guys. If you did, then feel free to leave a like. Comments, let me know what you think. Again, like any sort of like tips or anything in terms of start 11, what formation I can play to build around those particular players I've got would be much appreciated. Because I've got quite a lot of wingers, so I do feel like I'd need some wide players in there. I can't really play like a narrow formation as I don't have that many centre midfielders to work with right now. Obviously, I will probably change that in January, but I just want to stick with the exact 11 that they have now for the start of the season. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And obviously I can try and implement that when we do get around to January. Obviously you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All the sort of like information about various things like Twitch, Insta, Twitter, things like that, all along the top of the screen throughout the video. So yeah, feel free to follow me on those various platforms. That is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.